Okay, what if I told you that in the next 5 years or so, 170 million brand new jobs are going to appear, but at the exact same time, 92 million jobs that exist today are just going to vanish? You heard that right. The World Economic Forum just dropped its latest Future of Jobs report, and it's painting a picture of a massive, massive shift in the world of work. So we're going to dig in and figure out what it all means, and more importantly, what it means for you. So let's start with that first huge number, 170 million. That's how many brand new jobs the report says are going to be created in the coming years. We're talking roles driven by new tech, the big push for green energy, and just shifts in what society needs. But believe me, that is only half of the story. Because here's the other side of the coin. In that exact same window, 92 million existing jobs are expected to disappear. Now, yeah, that's still a net gain of jobs, but think about the sheer chaos of that change. It's a churn of nearly a quarter of the entire job market today. To put it another way, for every 5 jobs that exist right now, one of them is going to be gone, while 2 new, different ones pop up somewhere else. This isn't just a little ripple, it's a tidal wave. Now, you might be thinking, how can they possibly know this? Well, what makes this report so important is where this info comes from. This isn't some academic guessing game. These numbers are the direct, stated plans of over 1,000 of the world's biggest employers. This is what they are actually planning to do right now. It's not a prediction, it's their playbook. So let's start with the good news, right? Where are all these new jobs actually going to be? Well, the report tells 2 very different, but equally powerful, stories about where the growth is happening. On one hand, you've got the jobs with the biggest growth in just pure numbers. And these are really hands-on, essential roles. We're talking millions of new jobs for farm workers, for delivery drivers, nurses, social workers, and teachers. The care and education economies, they are absolutely booming. But then you look at the other side, the fastest percentage growth, and that is all about tech and the green transition. Roles like AI and machine learning specialists, big data experts, and renewable energy engineers are, well, they're just going through the roof. Okay, so knowing the job titles is one thing, but what skills are actually going to get you in the door? This is where it gets really interesting, because the focus is shifting away from what you know to how you think and how you adapt. So let me ask you this. In a world that is just being flooded with AI, what do you think is the single most valuable human skill that companies are going to be scrambling to find? The answer might actually surprise you. Yep. Analytical thinking. According to 70% of the employers they surveyed, that's the #1 thing they're prioritizing. It's the ability to look at a mess of information, break it down, and solve complex problems. It's a skill that even the smartest AI can't fully replicate. It's the foundation for pretty much everything else. And this list really shows you the kind of blend companies are looking for. I mean, no surprise, the skills rising the fastest are heavy on tech. AI and big data are right at the top, of course, with cybersecurity and just basic tech literacy right behind. But look what else is on that list. Creative thinking, resilience and flexibility, curiosity and lifelong learning. It's so clear that companies don't just want people who can use the tools, they want people who can think creatively with the tools and adapt when things change. And check this out. There's a fascinating new skill that just broke into the top 10 for the first time ever, environmental stewardship. This is a huge signal. It tells us that companies everywhere, in every industry, are starting to see sustainable practices as a core part of their business. They're actively looking for people who can lead that charge. And this isn't just for PR. It's driven by what customers want, new rules, and the very real costs of climate change. Green skills are now a business necessity. Okay, so now we have to turn to the tougher side of this story. With all this change, some jobs are, well, getting left behind. Let's take a look at those 92 million roles that are projected to shrink. The jobs that are facing the biggest drops are the ones that involve routine, clerical, and administrative work. You see the list: cashiers, data entry clerks, bank tellers, secretaries. And why? Well, it's pretty simple. These are exactly the kinds of predictable, repeatable tasks that automation and software can now do faster, cheaper, and more accurately. So this brings us to the elephant in the room, the question on everyone's mind. Is AI coming for our jobs? The report suggests the answer isn't a simple yes or no. It's actually a lot more nuanced. AI isn't just a threat. It is also a massive, massive tool. So get this. On average, you can expect that nearly 40%, 39% of your core skills will be disrupted in just the next 5 years. Let that sink in.
What makes you valuable at work today might not be what makes you valuable tomorrow. The pace of this change is just relentless.
And this might be the single most important takeaway from this entire report. The whole story is shifting away from replacement and toward collaboration. The biggest demand isn't for people who can somehow beat AI, but for people who can use AI as a tool to do their own jobs better, faster, and more creatively. The future belongs to the people who master this human-machine teamwork. And if all this change has you a little nervous, here's probably the most hopeful number in the whole report. A huge 85% of companies say they plan to focus on retraining and upskilling the people they already have. They rather invest in their current employees than go through the pain of firing and trying to hire someone new. That is a huge opportunity. So, after all that, what does this actually mean for you? Right now, today. Let's boil this entire thing down to a clear, simple game plan for your career over the next 5 years. Here's the playbook. First, focus on the growth areas. That's care, teaching, tech, and the green transition. Second, start building those future-proof skills, things like AI literacy, creative thinking, and just being resilient. Third, be realistic. Understand that those routine, clerical jobs are the ones most at risk. Fourth, change your mindset. Learn to work with AI as your partner, not against it as your competitor. And finally, and this is the most critical part, start learning now, today. The shelf life of our skills is getting shorter and shorter, which means learning isn't just a nice to have anymore, it's a must have. When you boil it all down, this report is telling us that the future of work is really just the future of learning. The lines are completely blurring. So the real question isn't just what you know anymore, it's about how quickly you can learn something new. So, are you ready?